All right, today we're diving into this fantastic, super high-stakes logic puzzle. It's a classic, you might have heard it. It's got a king, a massive feast, and a single deadly drop of poison hidden in one of 1,000 bottles of wine.
So, here's the challenge, right? How in the world do you find that one poison bottle out of 1,000 when you've only got 24 hours? I mean, where would you even start? Let's break down the rules of this whole problem.
Yeah, so the whole riddle is framed as this huge, almost impossible problem for a king. It's not just some abstract puzzle, it's a real race against the clock to save his big party and maybe even his own neck.
Okay, so here's the scene. The king is throwing his big annual party. 1,000 senators show up and each one brings a fancy bottle of wine. Awesome, right? Well, not so much, because an assassin has poisoned exactly one of them. And now, the whole party is on hold until they can find that one bad bottle.
And this is our first huge problem, the sheer scale of it all. We're talking 1,000 bottles. You're trying to find a needle in a haystack, and the odds are definitely not on your side.
Now, the king's resources for testing are, well, they're pretty grim. He's got 10 prisoners who are scheduled for execution anyway, so he can use them as taste testers. But that's it. Only 10. Not 1,000, not 100, just 10 people to test 1,000 bottles of wine. Yikes.
And here's the real kicker. The thing that makes this so tough. The poison is slow. It takes exactly 24 hours to work. This means the king only gets one shot, one single round of testing before that party has to start.
So let's just be real for a second. Testing them one by one? That's completely out. You need 1,000 prisoners for that, one for each bottle. With only 10 guys and one round of testing, the king has to think way outside the box. There's got to be a smarter way to do this.
And that's really the key, isn't it? Brute force is a dead end. The only way to crack this is with a seriously clever system, a method that can squeeze every last drop of information out of those very limited resources.
This right here, this is the core insight. The solution isn't just about seeing who dies. No, it's about using the specific pattern of who lives and who dies as a kind of code, a secret message that's going to point us straight to the poisoned bottle.
Okay, so every good system needs to be organized, right? The first step is super simple, but it's absolutely crucial. We're going to label every single wine bottle from 0 all the way to 999. And then we'll line up our 10 prisoners and label them A through J. This gives us the basic framework we need to get started.
So, how does this tasting plan actually work? This is where things get really clever. Let's dive into the specifics of this, let's call it systematic sipping.
So the king follows this very specific, kind of weird-looking pattern. You can see here, prisoner A drinks from certain bottles, 1, 3, 5, and so on. Prisoner B drinks from a totally different set. Prisoner C, another set. The key is that this pattern continues, and each of the 10 prisoners ends up drinking from a completely unique mix of those 1,000 wines.
So, did you spot the pattern in there? It's actually all about doubling. Prisoner A's pattern is based on sets of 1. Prisoner B's is based on sets of 2, C's is based on sets of 4, D's on sets of 8. You see where this is going. It just keeps doubling for all 10 prisoners.
And this is what's so brilliant. This doubling pattern isn't random at all. It's the binary number system hiding in plain sight. Essentially, each prisoner represents a different digit, a different place value in a binary code.
Okay, let's jump forward 24 hours. The test is done. Some prisoners are, well, alive, and some are not. So how do we read these tragic results to find that one poison bottle?
The decoding system is actually pretty straightforward. If a prisoner is alive, we assign them a 0. If a prisoner is dead, they get a 1. Then we just line them up from J all the way down to A to create a 10-digit binary number. Simple as that.
All right, let's try an example. We'll start with the easiest one. What happens if, after 24 hours, nobody dies? Everyone's fine. Well, that gives us a binary code of all zeros, 000000000. So you have to ask, which bottle did absolutely no one drink from? Just one. Bottle number 0. That means bottle #0 has to be the poisoned one.
Okay, let's do another one. What if only prisoner A dies? Everybody else is okay. Our binary code would be 00000000001. And what is that in our normal number system? It's 1. And if you go back and look at our tasting plan, guess who was the only one to drink from bottle number 1? Yep, prisoner A. It works perfectly.
Okay,
Let's try a more complicated one. Let's say prisoners A, C, E, G, and I all die. That gives us the binary number you see here, 01010101. Now, if you convert that binary number back to a regular decimal number, you know what you get? 341. The code points us directly to bottle number 341. Amazing.
So, okay, we've seen that the system works for a few examples. But why? Why is it guaranteed to work every single time, no matter which bottle is poisoned? Let's look at the beautiful math that makes this whole thing foolproof.
And this is really the most important question, right? It's not enough to know that it can work. We need to know why it must work for any of the 1,000 bottles, without fail.
Well, the answer is actually right here. We've got 10 prisoners, and each one can end up in one of two states, alive or dead. That's 2 possibilities for prisoner A, 2 for B, 2 for C, all the way down the line. Mathematically, what we have is 2 to the power of 10.
And 2 to the 10th power is 1,024. That's the magic number. By using just 10 prisoners this way, we can create 1,024 totally unique outcomes. Every possible combination of who lives and who dies creates its own unique code.
And this really just lays it all out, doesn't it? The system can generate 1,024 unique codes, but we only have 1,000 bottles to test. That means we have more than enough unique identifiers to pinpoint exactly which bottle, from 0 to 999, is the bad one. It's a perfect solution, with even a little room to spare.
So this leaves us with one last big thought. This whole method, breaking a huge problem down into a series of simple on or off, yes or no states, that's the very foundation of binary logic. It's the same logic that powers literally every computer you've ever used. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other impossible problems out there could be solved if we could just figure out the right binary system to apply to them?